Crackdown is a polarizing franchise. With its over-the-top action and almost non-existent plot, many people feel it's a shallow and uninteresting game, with its tear shit up methodology not being a big enough pull to many. However, it found a dedicated fanbase who loved the game for what it was. A no-frills, action-packed, over-the-top experience, one where you can turn the game on and turn your brain off in order to have a good time. It was so beloved that it got another installment that also sold well. So well, in fact, that a third game was announced as a launch title for the Xbox One. This, however, never happened. The game was delayed and delayed. According to Microsoft, this was all in order to keep up the quality and ensure that the game's main selling point, its fully destructible environments, worked as intended. So let's see if Crackdown 3 lives up to the previous entries or if it's too little, too late. What is happening? Mattmade here, bringing you my review of Crackdown 3. Crackdown 3 follows Jackson, the commander of the agents and voiced by the much-loved Terry Crews. Terry brings his trademark excitement and humor to the game and is a great pick.
Come tomorrow, we're all gonna be walking around wearing shiny snakeskin boots.
He and his team are heading towards Terra Nova, an island city and one of the only few cities standing after the Chimera attacks forced people from their homes. Terra Nova is bringing refuge to any who have suffered from the attacks and seem altruistic at first glance. However, to no one's surprise, they're an extremely evil organization that wants nothing more than to control the population and push their agenda. As Jackson and the other agents fly into the city, they're attacked and shot down. The other agents are killed and only Jackson survives. Really, he gets blown the hell up too, and Echo, a rebel who wants to free the city, saves you and revives you. However, in the process of saving you, all your stats are reset to level 1. It's a pretty cut and dry story that does nothing more than give you a reason to be in the city, as well as being weak and having no skills. If you've played any of the Crackdown games, the gameplay is exactly how you remember it, over the top and simple, which to many may be a turnoff. However, it can be really fun. Getting the different weapons or just running up to an enemy and punching him in the face feels so rewarding. The game focuses on the player feeling like an unstoppable force more than a single agent against a giant organized criminal conglomerate. Say that 5 times fast. You start off with your trusty pistol and nothing else. The pistol does way too much damage, like a stupid amount. You can use only that to take down the first boss you run into without much fuss. This sets the pace of the game and tempers your expectations. You know that the bosses are the real challenge and that you can roll over almost anything as you go through the game. Enemies will drop their weapons, and if you pick them up, you unlock them and can use them at any time by going to a supply point and choosing it. This rewards the player for trying different weapons and gives you a reason to change things up. As you take down enemies, you get points towards one of your skills. The points you get are determined by how you took down the enemy. If you punch them, you get melee points, shoot them, you get gun points, blow them up, you get explosive points, and if you run them over, you get driving points. This allows you to level up your skills in order to become more effective in combat. However, in order to level up your agility, you'll need to do challenges or collect orbs strewn throughout the city. This gives the player a reason to collect the orbs and rewards exploration. The orbs aren't simply there for show or to be a collectible for an achievement. Each orb pushes you ever closer to maxing out your agility. Everything in this game rewards you for doing it. Go take out a base, points. Go take out a garage, points. Go take out an installment that wasn't on the map, guess what? You get points. It's like Oprah, everybody gets points. It's a very good way to keep the player engaged and wanting to do things in the world. It's refreshing to know that each collectible, each mission, and each enemy push you ever forward to being an unstoppable machine that rains down destruction. And then there's driving. It's not bad by any means, but when you can jump 100 feet into the air, run super fast, and fast travel to any supply point you have unlocked, the driving becomes a bit redundant and lackluster. You can increase your driving skill by doing the time trials and driving through stunt rings, and as you increase your driving skill, you unlock the agency vehicles that do different things. One is super fast, one can jump and climb up walls, and one is a tank. Again, there's nothing wrong with these, they just are out of place given your other traveling options. The game isn't all sunshine and rainbows. It is littered with bugs and glitches that are sometimes hilarious, however usually frustrating. They don't break the game, but they do make me wonder what kind of QA went into the game. Sometimes objects clip into other things, you can get stuck in random objects, and if things get really bad, the game will crash. The crash doesn't happen often, however, for a game that was supposed to be a launch title and something Microsoft was pushing, I didn't expect it to happen. The voice acting is good, however, it's dry. There isn't much humor or slapstick comedy in the game. It's hey, here's what's going on, or insert dry pun here. It feels as though the voice actors, especially Terry Crews, weren't given the free reign to be a bit improvisational. Again, they did a good job, but I just wanted a bit more evolution in the dialogue after all these years. Now the visuals are okay. They're not breathtaking, however nowhere near what I would expect for a game that was delayed for so long. They are better than the previous installment, however not by much. Yeah, the neon signs are vibrant, however everything else is somewhat lackluster. Now I'm no graphics whore, and I don't need my games running 60 FPS with crisp water straight from the Himalayas or anything, but I was a bit disappointed. Although Crackdown has a specific art style that is represented well in this game, however it just feels a bit outdated. Does it really hurt the game? Honestly, no. Now, for the big ticket item that was supposed to sell the game, the fully destructible environments are not in the campaign mode at all, but for good reason. I can't imagine how the world would look or the processing power required to build a city that large that you can destroy in any way conceivable. Instead, what they opted to do was put the fully destructible environments into the Wrecking Zone multiplayer. There, you can blow up pretty much anything, and as the match goes on, things start raining down onto you. Now with the multiplayer, you have two modes. Agent Hunter, where you take down agents and collect their tags for points, a pretty standard mode in FPS games, and Territories, a more capture the point mode, where the longer you hold a point, the more points you get, with the points rotating after 50 points have been doled out. A lot of points in that, I know. In each mode, you and 9 other people are unleashed on a small city-like arena. You can pick your loadout and your character before you begin and whenever you die, allowing you to change up your playstyle mid-battle. The weapons all do pretty good damage, so it depends on how you want to approach enemies as to what loadout you'll choose. Now it does take a bit of time to get a match, however it's around the same length of time as games like Overwatch, as it has to find a server and host a match. The matches are fairly quick and you can go through quite a few within an hour. The matches usually boil down to one team steamrolling the other. Overall, it's a solid multiplayer even if it does seem like it was a bit of an afterthought. What is weird is the appearance of the fully destructible environments. Not all walls or floors can be immediately destroyed, nor can they be interacted with. When I first started playing the Wrecking Zone, it took a bit to figure out what exactly was a wall and what was a fake wall that I could walk through. However, even if you couldn't walk through it, you can punch through it, shoot through it, destroy it, and do whatever you wanted with it. It was just the look that really threw me off. The overall look of the cities does take some getting used to. Crackdown 3 is a game made for those who have long loved and cherished the cities. It won't wow anyone with the story or graphics, but the gameplay is a blast, which is what the entire point of the Crackdown series is, to have fun blowing shit up. So, if you're looking for a game that you can turn off your brain and have a good time, then Crackdown is definitely worth at least checking out for a weekend. But what do you think? Have you played Crackdown 3? Have you played any game in the Crackdown series? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And don't forget, if you're a fan of gaming, consider striking that subscribe button and hitting the bell. This is Mattmade, and I will see you tomorrow.
Nice.